Someone who says he feels sorry for me. I've had no apology, and I have this Martha character seems to have smashed up a bar, sexually assaulted him in a canal, been to prison. There are a number of other allegations.
And none of that is true.
That's not true.
Hey guys, it's Max, and I know most of us are running around this weekend wanting to enjoy the beautiful weather, especially if you're in the UK. Bring it on. But I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about Fiona Harvey, who is the woman that the Netflix hit series Baby Reindeer is based upon, the character of Martha. She sits down with Piers Morgan, uncensored, on his show to do this exclusive interview and basically tell her story of what actually happened. He's doing this interview, he gets the exclusive with her, and I think he did a brilliant job. I think he tried to be fair, but he also kept trying to get to the truth.
Were you ever in love with him?
Yes. Is that a serious question?
Yeah.
No. No.
It's not a question of... By his own admission, he has said that he led you on at times. And he clearly
I gave him the brush off. He asked me to sleep with him with a big green spot in his face one day. I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
He asked you to do what?
He asked me to sleep with him. He said, would I like my curtains fixed? And I laughed. And he said, that's a euphemism. Do you want me to come home with you? And I said, I've got a boyfriend. I gave him the brush off big time, I think. You know, subtly so, but the bottom line is, I think this is behind him. No, I don't fancy him. I don't fancy little boys without jobs.
It suddenly dawned on me that Martha knew exactly what she was doing, exactly how to get to me and still evade the law. It's because she's been here countless times before. She was a repeat offender, a seasoned pro.
Guys, she denied basically everything, and she said yes, she knows this guy Richard, and they met in a pub, but he didn't feel sorry for her. He wasn't giving her free drinks. She wasn't some sad, feel sorry for woman who was single and had no life, and he gave her this like opportunity into feeling like she mattered in the world. That came across really massively for me anyway, watching it. The thing that it also makes me think right now in this moment is we watch these shows and they're always saying based on a true story, but then we forget there's real people behind these stories. And let's for a minute not disregard everything that Richard Gadd has said has happened to him, but let's also remember that when you're talking about somebody else and what they've done to you in your life, they should have a right of reply and be able to say, well, actually, this was my version of things. And her version, Fiona, who supposedly is Martha, was very different to Richard's.
The whole drama needs to be true. They have billed it as a true story, so has he, and it's not.
I cannot express how furious I am about the way you shafted me.
And just like that, at the worst possible time during the most important moment of my professional life, Martha got my number.
In the series, right at the end, Richard's character finally gets Martha, who's based on Fiona, to court. And she's there being accused of stalking him. She's found guilty and she's sentenced to 9 months. She actually pleads guilty. Fiona, who the character is based on, says, not true, didn't happen. This is absolutely made up. So here's the thing, there should be a police record. There isn't. So again, and I hate to make this comparison, but The Crown comes to mind. You know, they say they make these shows based upon true stories and then they add stuff to it, you know, fictional stuff to exaggerate it and make it more entertaining, I guess, for us. If that was about your life, would you be happy with that? If there were certain truths, but then there was loads of exaggeration and shit that didn't actually happen?
I said the story, the play, the Netflix show is not true.
No, but if they say that you sent 41,000 emails...
Well, they are completely wrong.
All 744
They're completely wrong.
So they are lying.
They are lying.
Do you think Fiona deserves an apology? Do you think she also deserves a lot of cash for this success that this series has had? And more importantly, Richard Gadd and Netflix, what responsibility do they have? And if Richard has told the truth, does he have a right to tell his story however he wants to tell it, regardless of who else is involved? Or do you think you have a duty of care? You need to let everybody know, I'm telling this story about you. I just think there is never just one victim, but this whole situation is very complicated. And watching that interview with Fiona, who the character Martha is based upon, absolutely put my mind in a different place and made me realise that all this entertainment that we absolutely love, like give it to us, the darker, the more like gripping as ever, we forget when it's based on real people, how that must feel. Can you imagine?
I think he's psychotic, and I think that anyone going along, being in that play, and doing this to somebody, I find the behaviour outrageous.